Okay, we are now going to talk shortly about the interface once you get into the game. And here we see my character. And if you got a mouse with a scroll button, you can zoom in and out from this. And with WASD, you can go around here. You can also hold down the middle mouse button, and then you can drag yourself around as well. So that's pretty handy. You cannot rotate the map, so everything is from this angle, and this angle only. Okay, so what we have here is some interesting things. Right, so first here we have all the spells that are currently on my hot button and special abilities and stuff. And down here we got the weapon sets. So if I click here I can expand, and if I click here I can switch. And then in my inventory I can also move the things around as well.
I'm there.
And I can close it down again. Down here we got the belt, what I have equipped in my belt, which means I can quickly equip or have these equipped and I can start using them. Over here we got abilities that I can choose. So I got charge, I got Hand of the Apprentice, I got fighting defensively, and I got duck familiar. I can choose. Ooh, look, a duck. Oh, that is so cool. And he will give me an ability while he is there. And then over here you got your spell book, where you can drag spells that are memorized down onto your hotbar. So these 3 spells I have currently memorized, well, 2 of them, and the last one I've switched out, hoping to see if I can actually rest before I go into my first combat. So the one here means I got 1 use left of this and 1 use left of this. Now if I were a wisdom caster, cleric class, these would probably have the same number as they are the same level, but it will go down at the same time depending on which one I use. So that's the way the wisdom system works mostly. So look into that once you get to that class. Here I got Hand of the Apprentice. I can use that 8 times today, apparently. Number of times per day equal to 3 plus your intelligence modifier, which is 5. So that makes 8. And then of course I have my cantrips standard equipped here. And then my 2 spells. Down here you can see the abilities that affects me, which currently is my duck familiar bonus. There's no negative effects currently. I got 12 hit points, and I got a hit point bar here, which is currently green. Over here you got click to try and hide in the shadows, and this one, click to deactivate the AI. So that means the AI will not function on my character, but on the other characters that will join my party, I like to have them on. But depending on, do you want them to do things on their own, or do you want to manage it all? Now, if I turn the AI on, I can say like, okay, but AI, this one, I right-clicked on it, and you can now see it's listed over there. And that means that whenever I get in combat, this character will try to cast this as much as possible, which is pretty nice ability, I'd say. For the rest of this window, we got over here, we got your inventory. You can also press I to open that. We'll go into that shortly. We've got the character page, and again, C closes that. You got the spell book, which is the big spell book, again with the different pages. And here you can right-click and memorize. So if you notice over here, these are the 3 spells I can cast today, right? And I have forgotten one and tried to memorize sleep, and it will be memorized the next time I sleep. Yes, sleep, I know. And these 2 are lighted up, so I can cast them. The way to memorize them is to clear a slot, and then right-click and choose memorize here. Now these 0 level, again, number of cantrips, cast like any other spell. But it can be cast and used again and again and again. So they're pretty nice. They're pretty damn nice. So that was B. And then we got journal, which is in here. You can read a lot of stuff. That is pretty good the further on you come. Then you got the map, which will in here show you the map, and then show loot, show exits, show points of interest, characters and objects. That's pretty nice. Then we got the camp, which is being used once you go outside to set up a camp. Got the standard menu. Then we got the select all characters, but fastest thing is using the backspace key, just pressing that once, the backspace, and then you will choose all characters. Now formations, once you start getting more than one character, I would open this up. And you got 2 standard default formations. Sometimes it seems to me like it does not put them in the correct order. So I like to go over to the custom formations and move these symbols around. Putting up the here at the top, I would put the tanks and armored clerics, and then down here at the bottom I would put, or in the middle, depending on how far away you want them, because of spell ranges as well, I would put the different casters and stuff. And then you got the stop, or press G to stop selected units. And then you got the hold, which also means they continue to attack enemies with long-range weapons and stuff. So this is some of the things you really want to use once you get into combat. That is really important. This is the hourglass, and once you pause, it will show pause up here at the top, and then it will show the hourglass down here on the side as well. So that's some visual indications as well. Over here at the bottom corner, you got your chat window. And once you click on certain actions, you can see here like the rest of is in green. Okay, apparently you can't click it in this window. But in some windows you can click on things once it happens. You got events, you got combat and dialogue. So now let's skip on to the next scene and get into the first combat and talk a little bit about how it works. Now we're at the loading screen. Double click a character's portrait to center the camera on the corresponding character. It's pretty nice if you split up your team. Okay. So now we are starting, and
the mansion's under some villain.
And yeah, we're gonna have combat. So what's gonna happen now is an enemy is gonna come into my room, and it's gonna start. And to start with, it's going to come up with all sorts of things. So combat starts here. You see here the red hit point bar over his head. I can't see how many hit points he has, unfortunately. The 3.5 means in 3.5 seconds he will do his action, and his action, as you can see on the symbol, is melee. Now, as I've already right-click on Acid Splash, and he should use that and the AI is on, he's casting it. And I'm at 1 second until he is going. It also helps, of course, that if you look over here, the initiative check I had is 18. So I did a check of 18, which is 16 plus 2. And he is -2. He rolled a 1 with a -3 modifier. So he is pretty fucked, you can say, for start with. And yes, it did count as a sleep before I went in here, so I actually got my sleep spell ready for later. So if you want to change spells for the first long combat, you have to do it in the throne room before you go up here. Now, I don't want to use much against him. Problem is, he's going to get close to me, which means I'm going to be at a disadvantage once he starts hitting me. And it's not going to help that I'm holding a bow, which basically is going to be annoying as heck to use, because everything is going to go into close combat with me if there's no tank around to stop them. So right now we're going to start the combat. I'm going to cast a spell before he attacks me, which is good. Okay, I guess not. Guess that took precedence. So he gets attack of opportunity when he gets to attack me at close range, which is not good. Where's his hit points?
This will hurt.
Guess can't see the hit point bar anymore. Okay, guess he had so little hit points left. Now you can click on him and collect. And if you mouse over this chain shirt, you can see at the bottom of the window it says 25 in the bottom right. It means it's a value of 25, which means, hey, that's pretty good value. Now this has a value of 1, so don't bother. Now, one good thing is once you leave a level, you get a choice of looting things you haven't looted already. So you can always pick it up later on if you like. Yeah, I'll take it anyways. Now, let's go into our inventory, right? So in our inventory, it will show us the attacks here, which hands we got things equipped to. We got our hotbar, which is the thing here, the belt. So that's the belt you will see here. We got the different slots for wearing things up here. And then we got armor. When it's red, it means your class can't use it. So, can't use it. Down here at the bottom, we got some party encumbrance. And we also got your personal encumbrance. So, you will get penalties the higher it gets. So that's one thing to be aware of. When you're collecting heavy things, as this one that weighs 25 lbs. That's a lot. And with -7 strength, doesn't take a lot to, yeah, that's for sure. Now, here's a tip. If you hold down tap, it will highlight interactable objects, including things you can loot. And if it's yellow, that means there's something in it that you haven't used or can use at some point. So now let's go outside here and get our first NPC with us. Follow her. Princess Journal, yeah. Now we got a little quick story that we'll skip through for the second combat. Come on.
Ah, a test of my abilities.
Okay, so I don't get to use her yet. So yeah, let's just stick with this. She is, if you mouse over her, you can see she's attacking this guy and he's attacking her. So we should focus fire.
You should have run.
There we go. So he's down.
Strike.
And be sure to not stand up against him so you don't provoke an attack of opportunity. He's giving us a ring, which is, as you can see here, a +1 bonus to armor. So it lights up green here, and you can equip it over there, which is pretty nice. You can also actually equip the ever-burning torch in your offhand if you want to do that. Just an option. Equipment, yes, I know. So now let's see here, combat. Right, Lindsay deals 5 damage, so you can see what she did it with. She attacked them with a light crossbow. You can see all the results. So if you can't hit something, this is where you can see why and what happens and stuff like that. So I like that. So now we got 3 people in the party.
Adventures call to the
So I like to turn myself off of the AI, and then I like to have the 2 NPCs on AI. And then one of the things that doesn't have unlimited uses, I'd usually, if they're spellcasters, I'd right-click them and say like, oh yeah, use that. You, on the other hand, will be getting a melee weapon because it kind of sucks that you're not fighting melee because things are gonna charge into you. Oh yeah, and if you notice here, she can actually use it. So let's hand her that one. Instead, this one is not worth much, so we can actually drop it right away if we want to. He can't use that, so he stays where we are. He's got 2 potions here, which we haven't found any extra potions, which kind of annoying, but well, we'll just have to live with it. Ooh, that's a pretty nice ring. So we got some characters here. Again, we can loot. And any character you can decide to use and stuff like that. Again, these are not really worth much. We press backspace and then we choose all 3. So now, let's set up the party. As you can see here, it looks not good, right? So we want her in front. That's for sure. And then we want, you know what, let's take him there. And let's put myself there. Actually, back here and put him there. Because we're both spellcasters, so we don't want to be in front. So let's go in here. Actually, let's go up here first. I believe they're... And once you click on one thing, only one character is going to run forward. just be aware of that. You might be stuck somewhere. Here we'll press the tab button, and you can see there we can loot that thing. So let's go over there, and we got a nice book, we got some coins, and we got a map. So or we can just press collect all here. So that's a pretty nice thing to have. So this is where we came from. We can also just run in here, just quickly check, see if there's something more that we need. There we go. And again, the chest lights up. We got a longbow. We can take that for later. That's probably gonna be good. We take that one again. We're in a standard dagger. There's nothing really valuable in that. So this is how it goes, right? And then of course, the most important button, save game. Use it and use it often. I cannot say every time you've completed a fight, save. Every time you're looting something or about to loot something, save. Just so you can load again, because this game can be brutal, especially if you are on a difficult setting. So here we have 3 assassins, 2 bowmen, and they are nasty. So what you would want to do is go over here and then cast something that hopefully AoEs them all. So let's go here.
What troubles you?
Let's choose everyone. There. Okay, so here combat starts. So now we got sleep, right? Boom. Let's start casting that. The others are gonna start doing standard things. Boom. And again, tutorials. Lindsay, why are you holding that? You need to switch to that. There. Come on, sleep. Perfect. So, sleep on those 2. Hopefully that worked. Yes, perfect. So now I can just focus fire that guy. Okay, so now let's salute that. That, and again, no value on the rest. You on him, so everyone is on him.
This will hurt.
So again, focus fire. That's the way to go. And I barely took any damage, right? So again, hold down tab.
Letting the ink dry.
Go over there and loot all these potions. So now you're getting the good stuff here. And so she's got no potion. So putting 1 potion there, 1 potion there, and let's put 1 potion there, right? Same thing with myself. Gonna drop one of these and put the different potions here. So I'm ready to heal myself if needed. But again, spellcasting and using ranged weapons in close combat, that gives attacks of opportunity. So do not use them when you are near enemies unless you know you can survive their hits. So this is shortly about the user interface and all the other things, and again, save often. And I recommend looking into some of the hotkeys. Let's see, quick save, which is F5. Use that often. Just spam F5 every time you do something like loot thing, F5. Beat a combat, F5. Open a new room, F5. Like, use it religiously. It is so good. So, hopefully these things has helped you a little bit, and you know a bit more what you're going into in this game. So, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you around in the Magical Kingdom.